And we are recording. So as we hug our knees into our chest and we just rock a little side to side, I like this action because it is very grounding in the body, and it is also really therapeutic on the lower back. So I'm pulling in here at the lower belly. Hands can be down by your hips or wrapped around your knees. I might even throw in a few ankle rolls here just to get the body moving. And then let's start to focus on that breath. Taking deep inhales and deep exhales. You're going to literally feel your upper and mid back begin to melt into the mat as you deepen the breath. And it doesn't matter what you're going to be doing for the rest of the evening. What's really important right now is that you just melt into this space. You have an entire evening to do things, but right now this is your space, your vision of what relaxation is, even though we'll be moving. And then let's take those arms out like a T, take a big breath here, and we'll just drop our knees to one side or the other. It doesn't really matter which side. Now start to focus on how does it feel through that hip, through the lower back, and then start to draw the shoulder blades back and down. And then you can play with the knees coming in closer to the body or farther away, depending on what you need. You could even drape the opposite hand over that top thigh, giving yourself some grounding here. Take a big inhale here, open mouth, exhale. And then we'll just bring our knees back in and we'll move off to the other side. And we'll take all those intermediate steps where we're lengthening through the side, grounding through the arms and dropping the shoulder blades down, and then moving the legs where they need to be. Taking another breath or two here. And then we'll slowly come back to center. Let's bring our feet to touch, our knees come out wide. And then we'll just reach inside towards our feet, coming into kind of a reclined Baddha Konasana. So start to focus in, where is the lower back, where's that tailbone? Opening up in the inner groin, but you're also getting that beautiful relaxation in the lower back because you're focusing all of the energy of your core into grounding into the mat. Just taking a few breaths here. And really hang on to the grounding in the tailbone. Let's come to a happy baby. You can always bring your hands behind the thighs or onto the shins. Knees are coming down towards the armpits. And this is really an exercise in using your core to keep that lower back stabilized. And then if you'd like, you could try some rocking side to side. Again, this is about releasing the lower back, but also opening up through the inner groin. Breathing here for 3, 4, 2. On one, we'll let go of the feet, bring the knees together, and then send the feet up towards the sky, flexing the toes. Again, really pulling here at the lower belly and making sure that we're centered over our hips. We're going to do a little work with our lower core, and this is going to help release the lower back. I'm going to be reaching the opposite hand to the outside of the opposite foot. So take a big inhale here. On an exhale, take right hand towards the left outside of my foot and inhale back. And then my right hand towards the outside of my left foot and just moving side to side. Each time I exhale, I'm reaching towards the foot. Each time I inhale, I'm coming back to the neutral. The more I pull in my lower belly, the more you're going to feel that lower back release. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back into center, maybe just a little side to side rock. If you would like some front to back rolls, that's fine. If it seems crazy to do that, just roll to one side, come to a seated position. In your seated position, your legs can be all the way out in front of you and just strong and straight, sitting up tall. You could even be sitting on a blanket or a towel. I'm going to cross my right leg in front of my left leg so that we can work on our neck and shoulders. So let's take the chin towards the chest and some very gentle motion. Inhaling, chin towards right shoulder, exhaling down, inhaling to left shoulder, exhale down, coming back and forward, inhale and exhale. Nice and gentle. For 3, for 2, and 1 last time each side, and coming to neutral. In fact, let's take these shoulders up, exhale back and down. Don't forget to pull in that lower belly. Inhale up, exhale back and down. 2 more. Inhale up, exhale back and down. Last one. Inhale up, exhale, back and down. Kind of shaking it out. Let's go the other direction. Inhale up and forward. That's the less normal direction. Inhale up and forward. But I love how it feels across the shoulder blades. Inhale up and forward. Last time. Oh, wait a minute. I think we need to do one more after this. We want to be equal. And forward. Taking my right arm, I'm going to cross the body, catch it with the left arm, and just get a nice stretch through this whole outer arm. Just breathing here for 5. Don't forget to sit tall, pull your lower belly in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to release the arm and then pat ourselves on the back. Arm up. If you are really flexible, maybe you wrap that hand around and grab your clothes or hold hands with yourself. I'm just going to take it to the elbow, tuck my chin slightly and breathe. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's stretch it up. And let's take a twist to the right. So left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Deep inhales, deep exhales, releasing everything. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, sweeping it all the way up, just kind of rolling it back down. If your legs are crossed, just cross them in the opposite direction. If not, No problem. Finding my sits bones here. I'm going to extend my left arm all the way across and catch it so that I can get that nice stretch on the outer side. Don't forget to sit up tall. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's inhale, open it up, and then pat ourselves on the back. Bring the elbow back and down, tuck the chin slightly, and just breathe here. Four, 3, 4, 2, and 1. Inhaling up, and then let's exhale. Take that twist to the left, right hand to the left leg. Inhale up, exhale, twist, and breathe. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way up, palms up towards the sky. Maybe just a little side to side here just to release. Let's round it out as we come forward, pulling the belly in, taking that nice stretch across the upper shoulder blades. So my palms will push towards the front of the room, pulling in at the lower belly, kind of making a C out of my body for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Making your way to an all-fours position. We'll take a few cat-cow and then we'll move straight into our downward facing dog. Anybody that wants to throw in any vinyasa is so welcome to do that at any time. We will get a few in class tonight. My knees are under my hips, my hands under my shoulders, pulling my navel in and dropping and bringing the chest through on inhale. Exhale, looking towards my knees. Pushing into the tops of my feet strongly. For 3, 4, 2, and 1. Coming back to a neutral position, tucking your toes under. Let's find our way into our first downward facing dog. So I pull my navel into spine and I lift my hips towards the sky and try to settle in as best as I can. So maybe you're pedaling your feet. Maybe you just want to come high on the balls of the feet so that you can get that stretch through the arches. Get a little more height in the hips. Sinking your heels down when you're ready. Swaying side to side, whatever it is that works for you. I'm going to shake my head yes. And no. And then I'm just going to settle in here for a moment. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rooting down into my left foot, I'll lift my right leg to the sky, open up the hip, and now square my shoulders to the front of the mat. If you want to make big, wide hip circles here, you can. Or if you'd like to just stay static. This is meant to be an open body stretch. For 3, 4, 2. On 1, I'll square my hips Toes point down, stepping my right foot behind my right wrist. And then looking to see if my feet are separated enough so that I can plant my left foot, kind of a heel to heel alignment, rising up into warrior one. Now, sink down, drop the hips down, lift that back arch and firm in the back leg. Breathing here for 5, shoulders back and down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, open chest to the sky. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, we release our hands. We're looking forward. We're going to step our left foot to meet our right, so we'll come onto the ball of the foot. Keep that bend into the right knee because we want to step up into chair pose. Sink the hips back and down, shoulders back and down for 4, 3, 2. On 1, hands come to heart center, and let's just inhale, lift, maybe a slight back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's take a big inhale here, open our mouths, exhale. Separating your feet about mat distance apart. Let's soften the knees and let's just shake this out. This is really good on the upper body. Let's just start swaying. Maybe you're even lifting the heels. Allowing yourself to just be heavy in this. Your arms are very heavy and it really feels good on the upper back. For 3, for 2, and 1. I'm going to slow it down, coming back into a neutral position. And then we'll take a vinyasa if you want. If not, you'll step straight to down dog so that we can work on the second side. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, planting the hands and stepping back to plank pose. Maybe you just lift your hips from here. I'll drop my knees and take a chaturanga. Inhale into a cobra. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Taking a couple of breaths here. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Dropping my shoulders back and down. And then I'll lift my left leg, open my left side. Keep my shoulders square to the mat. Maybe taking hip circles, maybe not. And then finally squaring my hips, toe points down, looking forward, stepping left foot behind left wrist, right foot, make sure I've got enough space so that I can lift up into warrior one. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, I'm keeping that bend in my knee. Hands come behind my back. Really sink in and pull that tailbone down, lifting the chest to the sky, getting a beautiful heart opener for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up. Now, remember our transition. So we're going to come to the ball of the back foot, and we're going to step up into our chair pose, sinking deeply, shoulders back and down. Maybe your hands are at heart center. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come to stand. Hands to heart center. Let's take a big inhale here, open mouth, exhale. Let's throw a little bit of balance in here. Let's do something a little crazy today. Let's do funky chair. So we're gonna root down into our right leg, come to the ball of our left foot, and then let's sink down. So we're starting to take a bend. I'm gonna cross my left ankle over my right knee and balance for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Didn't work so well for me. Setting it down and shaking it out. Let's try the other side. Let's see if I can find a little less sculpted area of my carpet. Pulling my navel into sign, coming to my right knee, sinking strong into my left knee, and then crossing my right ankle right below or right above my left knee for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lifting up, sitting down, and inhale all the way up. And we're going to fold all the way back down. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands and step back into plank pose. And we're going to all meet here in plank pose. Let's take a big inhale here. Exhale. One more big inhale. And exhale. If you'd like, we'll just push our hips to the sky to down dog, or you could drop your knees or not and move through a vinyasa. Finding our way to down dog, maybe you even threw in an extra chaturanga. Please don't hesitate to get a little extra movement if you need it. Let's take a big inhale here. Open mouth, exhale. Let's lift that right leg up. We're going to step the right foot behind the right wrist, pivot the left foot, and come into warrior 1 again. Been here before, so now you can sink in a little more deeply. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, let's find our warrior 2. Now what I just did is step back a little further so I could get more of a heel to arch. I'm sinking deeply, dropping my tailbone, arms out wide, and I'm checking in to make sure I'm not gripping the mat for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, let's straighten that front leg and we'll come into a triangle pose. So I'm really reaching. My hand floats down as long as it's not on the knee. I have my opposite arm in the air, but I could always drop it behind my back to get more of a back bend. If you would like more energy here, you could just float this hand next to the leg. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, let's start to bend the knee so we can rise back to warrior 2. Let's dance the warrior. So we'll inhale and we straighten the leg and raise our arms above. Exhale, see if we can sink a little lower. Inhale all the way up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale up and exhale down. Let's take a big inhale here and we'll cartwheel our hands to frame the foot because we have a twist coming up. So I'll come to the ball of my back foot, leave my left hand down, swing my right arm up, and I'm really trying to reach as high as I can, pushing the mat away, reaching towards the sky for 5, 4, 3, 2, And one, I'm going to bring the hand down. I'm going to step back into plank pose. If you would like to take a vinyasa, you can. We're going to meet all the way on the mat. Let's get a bit of a Sphinx pose in here. So my elbows are directly under my shoulders. My hands are fanned out on the mat. And I'm going to push the mat away, tuck my chin, tops of the feet firmly into the mat. My knees are lifting slightly, breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'll lower down, hands under the shoulders, tuck my toes, hips to heels, extended child's pose. And take a few breaths here. Reach away. Keeping on the balls of the feet here will allow you to stretch into the upper back and shoulders. 4, 3, 4, 2, and 1. We're going to rise into down dog. I'm going to turn around on the mat. We'll take another couple of inhales and exhales here, just stretching it out on the mat. And we lift the left leg up, step the left foot behind the left wrist, pivot the right foot down. When you are stable, then lift up. It's really important to get the feet set first. Shoulders back and down. Knee bends, breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, let's open it up, reaching out, tucking the tailbone down, sinking into the pose. Finding your warrior 2. Warrior 2 is not about pushing the world away. It's about being strong in the pose and equal in the pose. 4, 3, 4, 2. On 1, let's straighten that leg and start to reach out. Find the place on your leg that's not your knee. And if looking up doesn't feel good, look down at the front foot. Pull the navel into spine. Start to open up. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's start to bend that front knee. We'll come back to our warrior 2, and then we'll dance the warrior. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Taking a breath or 2 here. Sinking and feeling the strength. Trying to get this leg at a 90-degree angle. And then we'll cartwheel our hands down. Come up on the back foot. Rooting down into that right hand. Reaching up with the left hand. Breathing here. 4, 3, 2. And 1. Hand comes down. Let's step it back. If you would like a vinyasa, great place for it. I'll drop my knees. Lowering down. Inhale up. And let's take a well-deserved child's pose. We're going to get a little side-to-side stretching here. So, hips to heels. Let's lift that right arm up. Rotate the wrist in one direction and the other. And we'll take that arm under the body. If you would like, you can start to walk that left hand towards the right side of your mat, getting a twist, or even reach behind your back. Breathing here. Four, three. Four, two. On one, we'll start to bring that left hand back to the left side of the mat. Plug the hand into the mat so you can stretch the right arm up, shake it out, and replace it on the mat. Let's take that left arm up, some rotations in the wrist, and then we'll shoot that arm underneath, and maybe you start to walk the right hand towards the left side of the mat, or even behind you. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, let's bring the hand out, shoot the other arm out. Whoops, sorry, need to shake that out, my mistake. Now we bring it long. And let's move into an all fours position here for a moment. Let's get into some hamstring stretching on our knees. So we're going to extend the right leg back and step the right foot forward and come to the heel, beginning to flex the foot out in front of us, pull the navel into spine, and let's just take a nice cascading fold over that right leg so that we can really stretch it up. We've warmed it up. This is a great time to get a great hamstring stretch, which will also help release the lower back. Push down strongly into that left foot. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2. On 1, we bring the foot down, and then let's stretch into the quadricep on the opposite leg. So really trying to stretch here. If you'd like, you could turn that front foot out 45 degrees, come to the pinky toe edge, but flex the toes back, coming into more of a dragon stretch, getting into the outer hip flexor. Pull in the lower belly. Breathing. 4, 3, 4, 2, and 1. We're going to come back. If your foot was out 45 degrees, let's bring it in, set it down, and then step back to your all fours. Let's take a round or two of cat-cow here. Chest forward, inhale, lift, exhale, pulling it in, inhale, and exhale. Coming to a neutral spine, extending the left leg, toes point down. We'll step the foot forward, and then we'll come to the ball of the foot. Inhale, lift, exhale, starting to fold over. Deep inhales and deep exhales. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's start to come back to the foot, and then scooting this back leg out, coming into the quadricep stretch. If you'd like, turning this foot out 45 degrees and coming into a dragon, but remember to flex the toes back towards the shin. And breathe here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll bring the foot flat, step it back, tuck our toes, and we'll come into downward facing dog. Pull the navel to spine. Let's start to walk our feet up towards our hands. And we'll take a wonderful forward fold. So your feet are about hip distance apart or a little wider. That's your 2 fists. We'll fold forward. Maybe your arms are dangling or cupping opposite elbows or even wrapped behind the legs. Allow the head to dangle. Maybe you're gently releasing the neck with some yes and no motions. Remember to bend your knees as much as you need. We want to get our chest onto our thighs. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing your hands. Let's roll up for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shoulders back, up and down, and shake it out. So we had played with our funky chair earlier on. Now we're going to take funky chair just a little farther. Don't worry, last hard thing in class. So let's root down into our right leg, come to the ball of our left foot, and we'll bend into that right leg and cross our ankle. See if we can come into our prayer and start to sit down a little bit. If you would like to really challenge your balance, which I just did, you can take your left elbow into the instep of the left foot and come to prayer. Or your hands could drop, which is exactly what I've just done. I'm using them to balance. So I'm deeper in the pose, flexing my foot, breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1. We'll come back up and shake it out. Now remember, it doesn't matter if you fell out. I certainly don't care that I did. It's challenging my balance. So let's try the other side. Rooting down into the left leg, coming to the ball of the right foot, sinking in. So I start to build that shelf, releasing my foot, and begin to come down. And maybe I can bring the right elbow into the instep and take a twist, or maybe my hands are just going to help steady me. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming up, stepping out, and shaking out. But we're going to find ourselves coming down to the mat. I want to come down onto our backs so that we can do a couple of nice back bends, just heart opening, and then we'll work into getting some nice stretching and twisting before we find Shavasana. So if you would like a vinyasa, that's fine. If you would like to just sit down on the mat and come to your back, that's fine. I will demonstrate the vinyasa, flowing down. And finding myself on my back. We'll work with bridge pose in a few positions, but I'd like to work on a waterfall bridge. So my knees are going to be hip distance apart, and they're going to be close to my buttocks. My hands are down by my hips, and I'm really grounding down, pulling my shoulder blades down. On an inhale, I'm going to sweep my arms up and over my head so the back of my hands ends up on the mat, up towards my head, and my hips rise towards the sky. And I'm going to do this in a very fluid motion. So on an inhale, I'm lifting. On an exhale, I'm rolling down upper back, mid back, lower back, and hands meet. Inhaling up exhaling down. We'll do 3 more. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Last one. And just taking a moment here, maybe swaying your knees side to side. And then coming to a neutral position. We'll take 2 back bends from here. If you feel more comfortable using a block and staying in a supported bridge, by all means, just come up into your supported bridge and stay. If you'd like something more vigorous, you can take your hands by your shoulders, fingers are pointing towards your heels. You push down into the hands and feet and lift into a full back bend, Urdhva Dhanurasana. So on an inhale, I'm going to lift my hips, push into my hands and feet, and then walk my hands under my body. I'm looking directly at the ceiling. The back of my head is on the mat, and I'm breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing the grip, allowing my shoulder blades to come down to the mat, and gently swaying my legs a couple of times side to side, not hugging in just yet. We're going to set up again. You have all of the choices I've mentioned before. Hands and feet pushing into the mat, lifting up, and reaching the hip points to the sky, tucking my chin slightly, but maintaining the curve in my neck for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down. And this time, you can hug your knees into your chest, rocking a little side to side. And coming back to neutral. All right, let's find our way into a seated position with our legs out front. We're going to come into a beautiful forward fold, but it's about releasing the back, not about your hamstrings. You can always take a few rocks up and back, but when you come to your seated position, separate your feet a little more than hip distance, bend the knees, and then take your arms underneath. Allow your chest to fully rest on your thighs, and then just allow gravity as you take your chin to your chest to pull your feet forward, coming into a nice forward fold that's more about your lower back. Breathing here, your knees will naturally straighten as your lower back releases. This is not about the hamstrings. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently releasing the hands and starting to roll back up. All right. I want to take one of my favorite twists. We're not going to take Martasana D in its native form, but what we're going to do is we'll bend the left knee, and then we're going to thread our right foot behind the left ankle. So I'm just going to bring that right foot behind, and the ankles are going to meet. I'm going to hug in, releasing my right leg down to the mat, sitting up as tall as I can, and then wrapping my right arm around my left leg, left arm up and back. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. If you'd like, you can take the elbow outside. And breathe. for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's inhale here, exhale, twist. And then I'm going to just step this front foot out a little bit so that I can make this leg parallel to the front of my mat. Now, for anyone that this starts to hurt anything, come into a cross-legged position, come into Baddha Konasana. We're going to come to 90-90 pose or fire log pose. It's a strong hip release, and some people's knees don't like this. So if your knees don't like it, you have many options from cross-legged to Baddha Konasana to a diamond pose. So I'm going to start to flex the toes on my left leg, and I'm going to set that left ankle behind the left knee and try to allow my left knee onto my right foot. Now, if you're way up here, you could always place a cushion, towel, a blanket, or a block. And again, if this doesn't feel good, maybe you just come to a simple cross-legged position. That's going to work on your hip flexors. You could even be sitting on a block. And then we'll breathe here. For anyone that would like a little bit more work, take your arms behind your back, cup opposite elbows, and start to move forward. The idea is that you'll have a little triangular space here in between your legs. Breathing here for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Just lean back a little bit so we can release and bring our feet at the edges of our mat. And just take some nice side to side motion here. And then gently coming to the other side. So my knees are bent. I'm going to thread the left foot behind, bring the ankles together, and then drop this leg onto the mat. So I'm sitting up very strong on my sits bones. I'm going to wrap my left arm around my right leg, my right arm up and back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist. And breathe. Breathing here for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Let's come back to center and release. Again, we're going to try the fire log on this position. You've got your modifications. So I have my left leg parallel to the front of the mat. I'll flex my right foot, bring that ankle right behind the knee on the left foot. Dropping down again, you can cup the opposite elbows and come forward if you would like. We're going to sit here and breathe, getting into our hip flexors. You can even place your hands into the creases to help release. Breathing. For 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Gently release by lifting knees side to side. Coming back to neutral position. Something we did in our last class that I thought was a little bit of fun, we did deer pose. So we're going to drop our knees towards the left. We'll find our right knee into the instep of our left foot. Maybe you need to open up a little bit so that you can try to get hips close to the ground. your right hip is going to be off a little bit. Let's take a big inhale here. And then we're going to start to twist towards the left leg and walk our hands out. And you can lay down as much as you want, or you can stay high in the pose as a simple twist. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's start to walk our hands back. We'll just lift up our knees, maybe sway them a couple of times side to side, and then dropping them to the right, finding our deer pose so we have the instep of the right foot on the top part and the knee of the left, maybe adjusting for a little more width. Inhale, lift. Exhale, begin to twist. You can stay here or you can start to crawl out, getting a beautiful twist here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's start to move back. Coming up. And again, swaying a little side to side before we find ourselves on our back. Now I'm going to give you the option that if you would like to do your Shavasana with your legs up, either in just a waterfall pose or maybe using a wall like I have behind me, or draping them over the couch and having yourself laying down and your legs over the couch, that would be great. Or you can just head towards your Shavasana. So let's head there now. I'm going to lay down and I'm going to take a few breaths with my legs up. You can always move from this pose into a Shavasana after you've had a few breaths. Maybe you even have a cushion or a towel or blanket under your lower back. I allow my feet to be relaxed, my wrists to be relaxed, and I take deep, purposeful breaths, breaths that will allow me to completely relax. If you would like to move towards your Shavasana or a meditative pose now, this would be an excellent time. Don't hesitate to use any props that you like. I brought my favorite pillow, and I can sit here in quiet contemplation. As you settle into your Shavasana, allow your limbs to become very heavy. Allow your breath to return to its normal state. Maybe you need a final exhale through your mouth. And then allow the heaviness of your body to really sink into your mouth. Allow yourself to feel as though you are one with the mat, that you're completely supported. It doesn't matter that thoughts are going to be running through your head, they do. We'll tell them later. They'll return. We'll tell them later again. It is not about training your mind. It's about letting it find its point of neutral. take a deep inhale here. Let's open our mouths, exhale. And taking another big inhale. Opening our mouths and exhale even deeper. Beginning to wiggle our fingers and our toes. And our wrists and our ankles. Keep some motion back into the body. And maybe some motions with the arms, just waking up. Finally culminating into our big morning stretch where our arms come all the way up. Pointing our toes away from us as much as we can, stretching the body, maybe moving a little side to side. And then when you're ready, hugging your knees into your chest and maybe a little rocking side to side on the lower back. When you're ready, falling to the right or the left side with your knees and just taking a few breaths in your fetal pose. That transition between the vigorous class and the rest of your evening. And slowly finding your way to a seated pose with your eyes closed or soft. And taking a moment here to close your practice. Thank you for joining me on your Memorial Day. I know that this year is completely different than other Memorial Days where you might be celebrating with family and friends in a large group. But know that this too shall pass. And that maybe the rain outside was just kind of a way of calming us down and relaxing this evening so that we can move forward in our practice. I thank you each for joining me. And I will unmute you here in a moment. Hannah's getting really good at this, I'll tell you. She's got this whole, I'll meditate through class and then come join you for Shavasana thing. So, let's see here.
You.
Thank you, guys.
That was wonderful.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you coming. Yes, tomorrow is 6 o'clock and I'll be in the studio, but I will be online as well. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening.
You as well. Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good one, guys. All right. Bye.